All right, friends, you know that we've been working on vowel teams that make two different sounds, haven't we? So today we're going to use these colored chips to represent sounds and words, okay? What do the blue chips represent again? Consonants. Very good. And what does the orange chip represent? Digraph. And then these represent the two vowel sounds, right? Do you remember which one is the most common? The dark purple, and which one's the less common? Light purple. Very good. So the blue chips, consonants, digraphs, and then we have our vowel teams, right? Now, the dark purple this time is going to represent the sound ow, okay? And the light purple chip is going to represent the sound So ow and okay? And the vowel team is spelled O-U. Yes, that's how we do it, all right? It's one vowel team, but it has two different spellings, okay? The first one is the ow sound, and then the second one is the sound, kind of like in bug. It sounds weird, doesn't it? So I'm going to write some words in a little bit, and we're going to talk about it, okay? And we're going to kind of talk about which sounds they are, all right? Watch me, my turn first, okay? The first word is foul, okay? I'm going to build a word with the sound chips. I'm going to finger stretch it. Ow. Oh, very good. Watch me pull down the sound chips. The first sound is which is a blue chip. The second sound is ow, which is the most common. So I'm going to put a dark purple. Good job. I heard some of you say that. And the last sound is going to be o, which is going to be the blue because it's a consonant. It says ow, o, all right? And I used the dark purple because it's the ow sound, which is the most common one, okay? Let's try another one, and then we'll do a little bit of writing on those, okay? The second word is touch. Can you say that word? Touch. Touch. All right, we're going to finger stretch it. Touch. All right. First sound I hear is t, and I know that's a consonant. Do you remember the light purple? Because it's the second most common. Good catch. Which color is that? Orange. All right. Segment and blend. Touch. Awesome job. If I were going to write this, what do you think I would do? How many boxes do I need? Three, because they go in. I'm going to write my boxes down here. All right. Let's see if we can do this. First sound is what? What should I put in there? T. All right. Good, because we're working on that vowel team. Even though it makes the same sound as the bug word, we're going to do O-U, and then C-H. Very good. And that is how you would write touch. Very good. All right, we're going to move right into our shared learning. So go ahead and get in the circle. Right. I will tell you in a second. I'm going to write some vocabulary words up on the board. Got it? All right. We're going to be looking for 3 of them today. The first one is thrashing. So think about that word. If you might know. Thrashing. Not trashing. Thrashing. Thrashing. Bear. Ooh, you might think, well, that one's easy. But we'll see. And the third one is, what's that word? Process. That's the word process. Can I have you slide right over there? Now, so thrashing, bear, and process. When you hear those words in the book, what are we going to do? All right, so we're looking for those words. When you hear those words, so you're really paying attention, and then we're going to talk about those, okay? We are going to read the book today, Raymond's Best Summer, which is on page 460. Okay? many of you have already learned that swimming and reading with your Give me just a couple moments to get there. If you see a friend that needs help, help them.
Does anybody need help? Anyone need help? Right.
We're going to read this little synopsis at the top together, okay? Thanks for helping. Let's read the title together. Raymond's Best Summer. And the author is Jean Rogers, and it's illustrated by Jesse Reich. Okay? We're going to actually choral read this first part together. Can you read it with me? Raymond and his friends on the red team are taking swimming lessons from a teacher named Lori. Raymond likes swimming, but there is one problem. He can only swim underwater. Not on top of the water like everybody else. Now it's the last day of class, and Raymond is worried. What if he doesn't pass the swimming test? All right, that's a little synopsis of what this story is about. Today we're going to do some choral reading as we read, okay? I start, and then you repeat. We're going to do, if you look, we're going to do about every couple sentences, okay? So when I read, I'm going to do this. And then when it's your turn, I'll drop it, okay? Are you guys ready? All right. Friday morning, Eloise and her mother came over early. Boy, Eloise said as they got into the car, I can't wait to get my certificate. Can you?
Friday morning, Eloise and her mother came over early. Boy, Eloise said, I can't wait to get my certificate. Can you?
She looked at Raymond, but he didn't say anything.
She looked at Raymond, but she didn't say anything.
For the rest of the ride, he was so busy worrying, he didn't answer any of Eloise's questions or pay any attention to her talk about the next set of swimming lessons they would be able to take the last 2 weeks of August.
For the rest of the ride, he was busy worrying, he didn't answer any of
Eloise's questions or pay any attention to her talk about the next set of swimming lessons they would be able to take the last 2 weeks of August. She prattled away about the vacation her family was taking in July, but Raymond wasn't listening. She prattled away about the vacation her family was taking in July, but Raymond wasn't listening. What if he was one of the ones who would have to take the beginning lessons all over again? What if he was one of the ones who would have to take the beginning lessons all over again? The rest of the red team would go right on without him and become intermediate swimmers and then swimmers. The rest of the red team would go right on without him and become intermediate swimmers and then swimmers. Why, they would become lifeguards and maybe even racers, and there he'd be, still down there on the bottom of the pool, thrashing around from side to side, getting nowhere. I see this. What word did we see? Thrashing. I'm going to read this sentence again. Why, they would become lifeguards and maybe even racers, and there he'd be, still down there on the bottom of the pool, thrashing around from side to side, getting nowhere. Using that context from the story, what do you think thrashing might be? What do you think, Lane? He's wiggling. Okay. What do you think, Devin?
Wildly, like body movement, like very fast. Just like if you're struggling and you want to get away from something.
Think about when you're in a pool, right? And you're getting tired, right? And you're trying to get to the top of the water. What do? Do you stop moving?
No.
Or do you move quicker? And your body's quicking and your arms and legs are kicking. Can
That's
you
when
do
I
that?
get-
Can you do that with your arms and
That's when I did when I couldn't reach.
I could puppy paddle.
I puppy paddle.
Yeah. So thrashing means Thrashing means that you're moving around wildly. I want you to turn to your partner really quick and think about some times that your body might thrash, okay? Turn to someone next to you. All right, come back in 3, 2, and 1. Anybody want to share a reason why their body would thrash around? Marina, what do you think?
If you stuck in bushes or like you're caught on a bush.
You might get caught on something. You might thrash. Yes. What about you, Anna? What did your group talk about? You might get stuck in a pile of mud. What did we talk about, Daniela? And so she said her body might thrash. I said when I feel lost, my body thrashes because what? My immediate reaction is to get it away from me, so I move around wildly. One last time. Lane, what did your group talk about?
When you put on like a swiggling slide, you might thrash. Like when the slides go like this.
Oh, yeah, because you're trying to like get your body in control, right? Good examples. Okay, let's keep thinking. And remember, we're looking for bear and process, and you really can see that, okay? All right, my turn. Glumly, he got into his swim trunks and sat beside Benjamin with the others, waiting for Red Team's turn to go through its paces.
Glumly, he got into his swim trunks and sat beside Benjamin with the others, waiting for Red Team to go through its paces.
Now, this word glumly, I really like this word glumly. Can you tell by the picture down here? I bet we can make an inference about what glumly might be. I want you to turn to your partner and talk about infer. What do you think that word glumly means by looking at that picture? That's going to tell by his body. All right, come back in 3, 2, and 1. Gabby, what did your group talk about? What does glumly talk about? What do you think by looking at that? What cues from the picture, Kylie, told you that it might be sad and down? Looking at the picture. What, how can you tell he's sad and down?
Because he's sad and he has his eyes closed.
With his eyes closed. What else about it? What did you say, Danielle? I really liked what you said about his body.
It's like down like the other people are standing straight up.
She said the other two are like this, and he's kind of like, you know how you get kind of when you're feeling dejected? Yes, very good. All right, my turn. By the time it was Red Team's turn, Raymond was completely downcast.
By the time it was the Red Team's turn, Raymond was completely downcast.
The other team members were enthusiastically showing all the steps they had gone through in the process of learning to swim to earn their certificate. What did you hear? Okay, so let's go back. Showing all the steps they had gone through in the process of learning to swim. What do you think process means? Caitlin?
I think it means like when you're trying to learn.
So it's ways to learn, okay. What else we have? Lainey? That is such an important word. That's exactly. Kind of, they're steps, aren't they? You go through these steps, learn something. I want you to think about sometime in your life that you might have learned a process in order to get to an end result. So he's learning the steps to get his certificate, right? Oh, that's a good question. She asked what downcast was. Raymond was completely downcast. It has a lot to do with glumly. So if you're feeling downcast and glumly, how are you feeling? Sad. Yes, you're kind of sad. All right, turn to your partner really quick and talk about a time you learned a process or steps to do something.
The steps to process to know how to get electronics from
you've learned how to two digits and all right, 3, 2, and 1. This time I'm going to choose sticks. Are you ready? All right. Addison, what's a process you have learned? Talk about certain steps to learn something. How to dive in the water. Are there certain steps you just can't jump off the board, right? There's certain things you have to do in certain ways your body. Devin, what did you talk about?
Like the process, how to get electronics from my dad.
Is there a certain process you have to use in order to get him to give you the? Yep, and you probably learn that fast. And Lane, what did you choose? What is your process?
My process is getting up in my
Oh, there is a process to get up in the morning. There are certain things you have to do. Do you know what my example was? My example was, you guys learn a process every time you do 2-digit and 3-digit addition. There are certain things that you have to do in order to get your answer, right? Awesome. All right, we are going to stop right there. And what we're going to do is we are going to move to correlating, okay? So put your finger on where we stopped. You see it where the word although is? You're going to start there with your partner. I'm going to give you a 1, 2, 3. You're going to find a new partner. You know exactly how to find it, and you're going to correlate, all right? 1, 2,
Raymond was not surprised when Lori held him back and whispered to him to go sit down.
and swim across the pool. And then the final test, Raymond was not surprised when Lori held him back.
Oh, we found the bear.
Sit down a second. He slumped down on the bench, wishing he could suddenly become invisible. This was even worse than he had imagined. He couldn't bear to watch the others jump in.
What does it mean?
What do you think?
When you're like bear
Listen, he couldn't bear to watch. What do you think? He couldn't bear to watch. He didn't want to watch. He just was, he couldn't do it. He couldn't put up with it. It was awful. Is there something you've ever felt that you just couldn't watch? Like what?
I already heard it. They were getting smoked.
And that's awful. I mean, it's hard to watch, so you couldn't bear. Go back to it. Their towels teacher and Raymond, especially the rest of friends who laughed delighted. You won't mind giving us a demonstration of your underwater ability, will you, Raymond? Raymond was suspicious, but he looked up at Lori and nodded.
Okay, here's red teeth, Raymond. Go for it, Raymond.
Here's red teeth. Okay. My friends, could you grab your books and come back to the circle and sit? Everybody sit down, sit down, sit down. Everybody sit down, sit right down. Everybody voices, voices, voices. Everybody voices. O, F, F, off. I have to tell you something that was really awesome. Really awesome when I was reading. I was reading something, and when I was reading, Avery did this. Anybody in your partnership do that? Anybody find a word? What word did you come up with? Bear. Anybody's group talk about what that word might be? What do you think?
Mrs. Hahn.
Oh, we did. What did we talk about, Avery?
I forgot.
You forgot what we talked about, Caitlin?
It's just bear with it.
What does the word bear mean, though?
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow. Okay. And in this one, it says, it does. That's a good example. But on this one, it says, he couldn't bear to watch. If you can't bear to watch something, Quentin, what do you think?
You don't want to watch it.
You don't want to watch it. And Lane and I were having a conversation. Have you ever had something that you just couldn't bear to watch or you couldn't stand? And he was telling me what?
Well, on Sunday, when I did my soccer tournament, there was another PFC team, and they were getting smoked. They were passing, and they were getting sloppy, so I kind of barely lost.
You're right, because they were getting beat so bad, right? What is another example that's something that you might not be able to bear to watch? You just can't stand it. Avery, do you have an example?
I want to share something about the swimming lesson.
Well, right now we're talking about the word bear. Caitlin?
I can't bear to watch someone else eat bacon when I'm not doing it.
She can't bear to watch somebody eat bacon when she's not eating bacon. All right, one last question before we move on. Is in one of them, why can't Raymond bear to watch the other swimmers? Can you make an inference about that? Why can't Raymond bear? And someone I haven't heard from.
I know. You heard from me.
Talon, awesome. Why can't he bear to watch the other swimmers?
Because he might get distracted and watch them that he pass.
He's worried about passing, isn't he? So he can't bear to watch them because what does he think about those other swimmers?
That they can
That they're better than him, right? So they can't. All right. I'm going to give you a 1, 2, 3. We're going to move right into guided reading. Put your books away first. 1, 2. Pause on 2. Everybody standing on 2.